Hey, so I'm going to talk about least common denominators right fast and what that means when I'm adding fractions. So let me make this a little bit bigger so you can see it. Okay, so I have this fraction. Let me see if I can make my screen a little bit bigger. Okay, I have this fraction and I cannot add it together because the bottoms are different. So I need to do something differently. So what do I need to do? I need to find a least common denominator so that I can make these both bottom numbers under these fractions be the same so I can add them. So I'm going to do something right fast. Just ignore me with the fractions because I'm trying to show something. All right, so let's do the 1/6 first. I'm going to copy it. Okay, and then I'm going to copy the 3/10. All right, so I need two numbers. I need a number that can go into both. So I have a 6 and a 10. So what numbers can go into 6 and 10? So I'm not looking at it as I want to find the factors of it. I want to know what I can get that would do that. So I can always do 6 times 10, and that's great because then that will give me 60, and both of these will go into 60. If you want to do something a little bit different, I could say, okay, I could go, all right, I want to know, because 10, 10 could be 10, 20, 30, and I'd want to know 6 times what would give me a number that ends in 0. So I could do 6 times 2 is 12. That wouldn't work. 6 times 3 is 18. That wouldn't work. 6 times 4 is 24. That wouldn't work. Oh, 6 times 5 would work. Because remember 5 is a multiple of 10, so that would give me 30. Okay, I'm going to show you both ways, so it'll make it easier when you see this. Okay, let's do my first one, which was 60, and I find that easier because all I did was multiply the bottoms. So I'm going to go here, oops, and this is what they were doing in orange that was really confusing to you, and I completely understand. It wasn't a very good way that they did it. Okay, so I'm going to copy and paste this here, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. Okay. So I've changed this bottom to 30. Okay. So I'm going to move this down a little bit more so we don't see it. So what goes into 30 with 6? Or think of it this way. 30 divided by 6 gives me what? It gives me 5. So there's 5 between this and this. So that means 1 times 5 is 5. Okay. So 30 divided by 6 gives me 5, and then 1 times 5 equals 5. So there's that one. All right, so let's do it with the 3/10. I'm going to bring that one back down. Okay. Oops. It's being particular. All right, so there we go. Let me make it a different size. It's really big, so I can line it all up. Okay, so I have that. So now I've got to do the same thing. So if I go here, so then this is going to be 30. Remember, because I said that's the one that's in the problem. We'll do the 60 in a minute. So 10 times what gives me 30, or 30 divided by 10 gives me 3. So then I go 3 times 3 equals 9. Okay. So that was with the 30, and that's the one they showed you in the problem. Let me show you the one that I thought was easier. I'm just showing you how to do this, and then we'll finish solving the problem. So then I'm going to do 1/6. Let me copy these, and I'm going to get rid of the other numbers. All right. So that was with 30. And now I'm going to do with 60. Okay. I'm going to change this to 60. And I'm going to change this to nothing right now. And I'm going to change this to 60. And I'm going to change this to nothing right now. Okay. So here we go again. All right. I have 1/6, and I want to make it to 60. I want to make it, scale it up to its blank over 60. So 60 divided by 6, if you put that in your calculator, it gives you 10. So 10 times 1 is 10. Okay. All right. So now I need to do the bottom one. Okay. 60 divided by 10 gives me 6. So 6 times 3 is 18. Okay, so I could either do it with 30 or I could do it with 60. Remember, I said do it with 60 because it's so easy just to do 6 times 10 to get 60. But now let me show you how to solve them, okay? So over here, I'm going to, so now remember, I said 1/6 equals 5/30. So I'm going to do it here to solve my problem. We'll tab over. So it equals 5/30 plus, I'm going to go here and get this 9/30, because then remember, I just converted it from being 3/10 to 9/30. So then I'm going to try to solve, okay? So remember now, 30, a fraction with the same bottom numbers is always going to be that bottom number. So then all I'm concerned about is the top. 5 plus 9 is 14. So I'm going to show you the coolest trick if you have the calculator. Okay, let me open my calculator just a second. And let me do this. Sorry about that, but I want to show you something really cool with the calculator. Okay, let me bring this back over to my form. Okay, so I'm going to turn it on and I'm going to do this. I'm going to do 5 divided by 30. Oops. Parentheses, sorry. Then I'm going to do 9 divided by 30. And then I'm going to hit enter. Okay, well, that's weird. That just gave me a decimal, and that kind of confuses me to all get out. So then what I'm going to do is hit math, and then I'm going to hit enter and enter. So look, it gave me 7/15. So 7/15 is the same as this fraction right here. It's just reduced for me. Because if I divide the top by 2 and the bottom by 2, it reduced it for me. I didn't have to do anything different. The calculator did it for me. Okay. All right, so let's do the next one. This one to me with the 60s is easier, okay? So I'm going to take this 10/60. Okay, so again, that was my answer. Let me go over here and put a big or, okay? There's that, and then I'm going to add it to 18/60. Okay, all right, so let's do this. Remember, bottom stay the same, top changes. So 10 plus 18 equals 28. I was getting ahead of myself. Okay. Sometimes my math lab wants it reduced, and maybe your professor does too. So I could take my time and divide by this and try to find what goes into this. And you could do that. All right, so let's do this. I know that 2 will go into both of these. So 28 divided by 2 is 14. And then 2 divided by 60 gives me 30, okay? All right, and I can reduce it one more time. So, and I'll show you. I'm going to do this over here, but I'm not going to fill it in yet. Okay. 2 divided by 14 gives me 7. 2 divided by 30 gives me 15. Okay, but look here. I got the exact same answers here and here. Okay. So there's 2 ways you can do it. You can try to find one like here with the 30 that's lower. I think that's kind of hard to do because you got to really know your numbers. But if you just multiply that, the 6 by the 10, you get 60. It works out to be the same problem. And this is the cool thing. If I'm going to do this next one again on my calculator. Oops, move over. Sorry. It's being particular today. Let me move it over here. Okay, so I'm going to do this one in my calculator. 10 divided by 60 plus 18 divided by 60. And then I hit enter. Okay, look, it gave me the same decimal as up there. And I'm like, I hate this ugly decimal. So what I'm going to do, I hit math, I hit enter, and I hit enter. And it gives me the same number. So you saw I did 2 different denominators, but I got the same answer. I hope that helped.